You must find another gear, another level, another way. When you feel like you've given it your all, you must then figure out a way to do more. This is why I believe that, for so many reasons, the weighted walk is one of the best things that you could invest your time and effort into. And we've spoken before about how it's fucking phenomenal for burning fat, for building strength, building lean muscle, for building endurance, cardiac output, all that kind of stuff. It's, on a physiological level, it's one of the best choices you can make. It's one of the fastest ways that you can burn fat and build a strong body, a functional body, and one that will continue to deliver results for you. It's honestly just a no-brainer. It's why it's built in to demanding greatness as one of the foundational principles. But on top of that, especially the way I like to structure it out, builds other things like grit, determination, the ability to find another level, the ability to get used to being uncomfortable, the ability to override these things. One of the ways I like to do this and like to structure it is that when you're measuring it, so it needs to be a 45-minute weighted walk, right? I prefer to use it as you divide it into two 22.5-minute segments. So you go out as fast as humanly possible, and you've got to make it back in the same time frame. The little challenge I like to set within that, and if you aren't right mentally, it won't work. If you don't get yourself into the right headspace for it, it will not work. So you've got to psych yourself in this way, is that you have to make it back faster than you went out. Now, you must still complete the 45 minutes. So it doesn't mean if you make it back, you go out 22.5 minutes and you make it back in 20 minutes. You don't call it quits early. You just go round the block, whatever it might be. You still have to complete the 45 minutes. But there is a mental component, a challenge, a find another level, another gear, which then translates so well into life from being able to go out fast and then somehow come back even faster. And I love this as a challenge. I love this as a methodology. I love this as a way forward. And it's one that I like to build into it, and I like to challenge people to do it, because if you give it absolutely everything you have heading out, and then somehow you find another gear, and often I'm just talking 5, 10, maybe 15 seconds on the way back faster, when you're already tired, when you've already given so much, and you go, fuck yeah, I did that. It builds this tenacity, builds this grit, it builds this determination, builds this mental toughness in you that is worth its weight in gold. It is worth so much to be able to do that. And that's why I really, really like it. Some of the other reasons I like it is some days it just fucking sucks. And you're confronted with your own demons. And that is so powerful. I spoke before on different degrees of like when the suck is and how long you have to push through. Now, a workout, lifting weights, is a non-negotiable. That just has to be happening. But the fighting point where you're up against it, where your body's screaming at you to stop, is usually in the maybe 10, 15 second range. Maybe if you chuck in a 30-second hold, it's 30 seconds. But it's not exceptionally long. There's not that long to talk yourself out of it. On a weighted walk, there's some time to talk yourself out of this shit. I had one today of it that 5 minutes in, I don't know what caused it, if it's because I squatted heavy this morning or what it might be, but my traps were fucking shot. They were on fire. 5 minutes in, I was like, well, this is awful. And I wanted to turn back. I wanted to turn around. And the negotiation started in my head. And we've all got that. We've all got that voice in our head that talks about these things. And it's like, let's have a little negotiation. Let's talk about the shit that's going on. Let's talk about turning around. Is this really worth it? Do you need to do it? Oh, it hurts. Maybe you should go home. Etc., etc., etc. And you need to learn to flip at the bird. You need to tell it to fuck right off with that shit. And just focus on why you're doing it. I've spoken about it before. It's not about your feelings, it's about what needs to get done. It's not about what you want to do, it's about what needs to get done. And what needs to get done is the work. And this is, it's a microcosm. But it teaches you that skill. And I like this one more because, as I said, it was a 45-minute walk when my traps were on fire. So for 40 minutes, I negotiated with myself. Not to stop, not to slow down, not to bend over, not to take off the weight vest, not to turn around. For 40 minutes, I had a battle on my hand between me and me, no one else, about what the fuck was going to get done. That shit matters. And so no, I didn't slow down. No, I didn't take a rest. No, I didn't turn around. I just kept going. Those are the conversations that you need to have with yourself. Those are the conversations that are going to make a difference in your life. Those are the conversations that are going to change the game for you. They matter. They matter a lot. You need to get used to having those conversations with yourself. You need to get used to having the conversations about how uncomfortable it is, and you just shut it down. Because that voice is never going to go away. That voice that tells you to take it easy, to choose the easy way out, to have the night off, to have the rest day, to indulge, whatever it might be, that voice will always be there. It never goes away. You just get better at dealing with it. It's like at the start of a video game, when you're level 1 and you have this pitiful little sword and this weak-as little armor, and a strong breeze is going to kill you. But over time, you level up, and your armor gets stronger, and your weapons get better, and you build up that resilience. And now, when you're faced with that dragon of resistance, you overcome. You slay that dragon. And at some point, more often than not, it will become an easy decision. And this is what demanding greatness is about. That it becomes an easy decision. That you gave your word, therefore it's getting done. End of story. That's the decision. You said it, it's happening, end of story. And that's where you want it to be. That's where you want it to get to. That you have put in so many reps that it becomes a no-brainer, that it becomes effortless, that it becomes, this is just what we're doing kind of thing. That's the ideal place to reach. That's where you're searching for. And it's the concept of train so hard the game is easy. Well, train so hard that life is easy. Not that it ever actually gets easier. Not that it ever becomes easy, but you become so strong that you're able to handle it easily. And that's a separator. And that's the point. That's the whole point of demanding greatness. That you keep showing up that way, that the game of life becomes easy. That you're so used to following through on your word that you don't have to think about it. That's just who you are as a man. That it is so ingrained into you that you are just a man of your word. End of story. That's where you want to be. And that's the point of this. That we have become too soft, too gentle, too addicted to the comfort zone, too addicted to easy. That we have no resilience to override resistance. Because there is resistance in everything. It's that sneaky little voice that knows the things to whisper in your ears, because it's you. It's you versus you. It's you in your head. So of course it knows all the things to say that are going to derail you, that are going to fuck you up, that are going to stop you from doing the things that you know you need to do. It knows the exact code, the exact wording to get you off your game. But you have to level up. You have to get in the trenches and do the work, day in, day out, following through, no matter how uncomfortable it is. That's how you build up that skill. It's how you level up your world, your life. And along the way, you build a nice six-pack. You develop a great physique. That's a win-win-win. And that's what we're seeking here. That's why we do Demanding Greatness. Is to be that guy. Is to build those skills. And fitness is the easiest way. And that's why I like the combination of weight training. As I said, it's a lot. Like the ability to push through when your body says, nah, we're done. And you grind out another rep, 2, 3, 4. You would be shocked at how many people have zero idea how many reps in reserves they have. How to actually grind out every single one. And I get a lot of people and they're like, oh, you shouldn't train to failure and everything. And I was like, most people have never actually trained to failure. Most people have never actually even come close to training to failure. They go, oh, it's 10 reps. So they'll do 10 reps. But half the time I'm like, if it's 15 reps, they'll do 15 reps. Most people have zero concept on how hard to actually push it, on how to actually dial in that, well, their body to push that limit. And that's what you're going to chase. And that's why you get the growth, though, from absolutely grinding out every single rep that you can. And as I said, that's only a short motion. It's also about having those negotiations with yourself. That's why I also like things like sauna and ice bath and fasting, because these are other mental conditioning tools that will teach you how to continue moving forward. That'll teach you how to do the things that are deeply, deeply fucking uncomfortable. Where you have to have those negotiations with yourself, and they're different kinds of negotiations each time. This is why I like to incorporate all of them. You know, the cold is this shuddering, oh my God, get me the fuck out of this right now type of one. And you have to slow it down. You have to slow that breathing. You have to calm yourself. Take those big breaths. My secret on this one is nasal sigh. I believe that's what it's called, or a double inhale. So it's a long breath in till your lungs are full through your nose, and then an extra one, so it's like, and then slow out through the mouth. Calms the nervous system. It takes you out of fight or flight, and it allows you to fight off that feeling while you're in the cold. The sauna goes the other extreme, where your body's just like, fuck, this is slowly killing me, please get it out. Again, you have to have those slow discussions with yourself, those negotiations about, well, we haven't reached the limit yet. And you keep pushing forward, you keep holding strong, you keep doing the work. And that's where it matters. The weights are in the moment, that really quick one of your body says, I'm done, and you're like, fuck off you are. Let's grind this out, let's push it. Body shaking. Everything giving absolutely everything until it cannot move another single inch. Yeah, that's where you want to get to. Weighted walks. As I said, some days it'll be 5 minutes in and your body's like, fuck this shit for a joke. And you're like, well, here we are. We are going to continue forward. And you have that discussion, one foot after the other. Keep moving forward. Keep taking it one step at a time, one round at a time, one punch at a time. Keep moving forward. And that's how you win. And then fasting, depending on how long you do it, there's days of negotiations of, I will do what I said I was going to do. I will keep my word. I am not giving in to instant gratification. I'm not giving in to the things that would be easy. I am doing what I said I would because I said I would. All these things have great physiological benefits, and I would strongly recommend them for all of the reasons that they provide for your health and fitness. But just as much for this, for who you are upstairs, for who you become by doing that work. Because that's a game changer. That's a difference maker. And that'll separate you so much more than you could ever understand. And that's where you want to be. That you want to focus on doing things daily that build your mental toughness, that build you into the man that you know you can and should be, that you train so hard that the game of life is easy. That's what we are after. That's what we are chasing. And that's the point of demanding greatness. So, my friend, if you are ready for that, you know where to find me. Click the link, join it, and we will see who you can be when we challenge the mental side just as much as the physiological side, and we push you towards being the man that you know you should be and can be. And I can't wait to see you there.